Welcome back. Good morning and happy Friday. It is 4:44. I want to start off with our heat because that's the immediate concern. Our heat warning is in effect from 10 until 7. This is an upgrade from a heat advisory because it's going to feel hotter. In fact, notice all around the lake here and on the coast could feel like 115 degrees or hotter today. So please be extra careful if you're going to be outside. We're not going to have a whole lot of rain today, but that changes tomorrow with a fairly decent shot of storms on Saturday. So Saturday's a better chance of rain. Sunday looks mostly dry, just very hot. Now tomorrow's rain chances will increase during the afternoon. We're going to heat up quickly, and with that intense heat, we could see a few strong storms tomorrow. This is something we'll want to watch if you're going to be outside. Satchmo Fest, White Linen Night. Notice storms start to go up in the afternoon. Some of these are intense with some heavy rain. So plan on there being some rain on Saturday before things dry back out on Sunday. All right, let's look at the tropics because we continue to track Invest 97. It is a tad bit better organized this morning, but overall we still don't have a bona fide cyclone or depression or named storm. Now, the track of this takes it over Cuba through today, in the southern Gulf by tomorrow, and then moving up towards the north as we go through the weekend. The eastern Gulf, it still looks like where we're likely going to see either a depression or maybe a named storm. So if you're in Florida, certainly getting ready for some impacts from this with certainly rain in the forecast. The further west you go, the chances of seeing impact dropping off dramatically. Now, it's still not organized, so there is still some uncertainty here. When you look at it on satellite, you can see you don't have a well-defined circulation. You don't have a center of circulation. So while we're tagging it right here, it will still be interesting to see where does that center try to come together. Is it north of Cuba or south of Cuba as it emerges in the Gulf of Mexico? And that will have some implications on where this thing ultimately ends up going. Now, the good news is, now that it's an Invest, we do have some tropical models running on this thing, and you can see there they are fairly tightly clustered in the extreme eastern parts of the Gulf of Mexico. That's good for us. That means our confidence is growing that this is not going to be our storm, and this is probably going to be more of a Florida storm through the weekend, with this storm even lingering into parts of Georgia and the Carolinas into next week. Our precision cast, our high resolution models show the broad spin there, trying to wrap up and come together, riding along Florida and giving them rain through the weekend, and then there it is making that turn, riding up through parts of coastal Georgia and the coastal Carolinas. Now, it's making this turn because our ridge is weakening. By tomorrow, watch it. Poof, there it goes. That will open up a lane for this thing to travel to the north. That's why it's going to start to make that turn and then travel up along the edge of that ridge. As the ridge starts to build back in, we're hoping that the storm is long gone past the Gulf here, and unfortunately it looks like it may begin to stall out somewhere near Georgia and the Carolinas, dumping a lot of rainfall. So that would happen into the middle part of next week. So the overall message for us is that the concern level is still very low. Our confidence is growing that this is probably going to be a Florida storm. I will say, please don't go through the weekend without checking the forecast. We don't need any surprises here. Once again, it is an unorganized system, and sometimes those can still do some unexpected things. But right now, we're feeling okay about this. One thing for sure, we got some storms in the forecast tomorrow associated with that weak front moving in. That's what's helped weakening that ridge. That's going to help this thing turn to the north. So storms are looking likely tomorrow afternoon and evening. Outside of that, get ready for the heat. 96 on Sunday. It'll probably still feel around 115 degrees. And then look at this. Next week, the heat really gets cranking with that tropical system staying mainly to our east here and off towards Florida and the coastal areas. Our heat gets up into the upper 90s, even approaching 100 or so once we get into Wednesday and Thursday. Brandon.